A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Friday edition of the show. I'm here, me, Adebayo. Well, tonight on the show, we have for you badminton on the show, basketball on the show, weightlifting, wrestling on the show, and of course, we'll be talking about football, foreign, and domestic. That's the outlook of the show tonight. Of course, it's a two-man show. My colleague Austin Okonakwan is suited and ready as we take you along on this ride across the money-spinning world of sports.
What a greetings to you, Yemi, and our viewers all over the world. Always an action-packed world of sports, and thank God it's Friday. We're getting into a week of sporting action, but you know what? The action has actually started in Africa because, Yemi, I told you on the show that I see a South African club and an Egyptian club making it to the final of the CAF Champions League. It didn't happen for Al Ali. And when we thought we're going to have two South African teams in the final, Orlando Pirates taking on Pyramids. When it was 2-2, I said, look, there's something that will still happen in this game. And then Mayele said, Austin, I hear you. I see what you want. In the 83rd minute, Pyramids got that goal. So it's 3-2 now. It ends that way. We're going to have a final between an Egyptian club side and a South African club side. Yeah, me.
All right. So let's move straight in. Just to let you know that game has ended. So Austin has got his wish. One South African team, one Egyptian team. That's the makeup of the CAF Champions League final. All right, let me quickly introduce our guest in the Lagos studio. He joins us tonight, Dotun Agubiade joins us. Dotun, greetings to you. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight. A very special day with so many things to talk about.
Well, good evening, Yemi. Like Austin said the other time, talking about the final of the CAF Champions League. Actually, I've been looking out for a team in the South African League and also a team in the Egyptian League to square up in the final, and which has actually come to pass. I want to see football because when you look at football in Africa, these two countries, they are the best. If I'm not, I may be wrong, but they are the best.
All right. On the evidence of the results, they are the best. One South African team and one Egyptian team. But also on the show, we want to start differently tonight. And I'll let you do the honors to talk about an athlete you've always sang the praise of, Eniola Badmas on the show. So we start, Eniola Bolaji, I beg your pardon. We start with para badminton on the show tonight.
Yeah, so it's official before we get into Eniola Bolaji. It's Mamelodi Sundowns versus Pyramids in the final of this year's CAF Champions League. Let's talk about Eniola Bolaji and what she's been doing. Remember, she won bronze at the Paralympics. And since that time till this moment, she's been an absolute champ. Every championship Eniola has been to after the Paralympics, it has been gold. And who else, other than the Badminton Confederation of Africa, to say, look, we see what you do. We appreciate you, Eniola Bolaji. Come. They gave her the award of the 2024 African Women in Badminton. So she's the recipient for the 2024 African Women in Badminton Award. Yemi? And Dr. Why is this award special to Nigeria? The last time we won this prestigious award, it's for Africa, by the way, was in 2019. And we won that. It was Obiageli Solaja that got the award in 2019. And now Eniola Bolaji is saying, look, I'm here. I want to shine. I want to prove to the world that impossible is nothing. Feel the power of sports. I like it so much, Dotun, because with this sort of story, she can actually inspire young girls, particularly those who feel that with their conditions, they can be down and out.
Yeah, in the world, there is a common say that there is ability in disability. And what she has actually shown to the world at large is one thing that I'm able to take the word to the cleaners, do my best whenever I'm being called upon. So if you look at it very well, she's the first African badminton player, either male or female, to be awarded to actually get a medal in the Olympics, either in the Paralympics or in the Olympic Games proper. So what I've seen so far is she has become an inspiration to others. Like I said the other time, talking about ability and disability, many among sporting loving persons who have been given opportunity to do one or two things, we always take inspiration from her that if she can't do what she has been able to do, we can actually do better.
All right. Let's move swiftly into, of course, weightlifting on the show. Another heartwarming news, cheering news on the show tonight. The weightlifting contingent has lifted the spirits in Nigeria. As Team Nigeria closes the championship with 13 gold, 4 silver, and 1 bronze, they went to the Africa Senior Weightlifting Championship, the 2025 edition. And like I said, it all ended with a haul of 13 gold, 4 silver, and 1 bronze. And so it is very, very heartwarming. Let's just say something quickly about that one as well. It's good to be having heartwarming news to talk about.
Yeah. You know, when you begin to do the right thing, you begin to get the good result, because you can't keep doing the wrong thing and you expect a different result, or doing a particular thing in a particular way and you expect a different result. For Nigerian sports in recent time, even you can actually see that almost all the sport federations are really turning up, trying to do what they know to do, what they needed to do to make sure that their players and what have you are getting the right results when it comes to championship across the world and even in Africa. For what they've been able to do so far this time around, I say kudos to them. Having actually amassed a whole lot of gold and silver medal as well as bronze medal. They've actually put the Nigerian name on the right once again.
All right. And with this feat, they've cemented our status as a continental powerhouse in weightlifting. All right, let's move on. On the show, we have a lot lined up for you. Let's go to basketball and talk about the women. Another team that Austin likes to sing the praise, and I join him in this one. Let's talk about the 2025 Women's Afrobasket. Before we go to the screen, I'm very sure Austin has a thing or two to say about the ladies. They've been through a lot in recent times, but they've always made us proud.
You know, what else can we say about the Afrobasket Championship? Yeah, I mean, they've won it 4 times in a row. They did the 4-peat, you know, against all odds, lack of support, negative news here and there. They've been pushed to the wall, but these ladies, they say no, you know, particularly if it's Africa. They've made the hard and smart work being done by Senegal and Mali look useless, because they just go out there and they dominate, you know. If we give our basketball, women's basketball, is sort of, let's say, 20% of what Senegal and Mali seem to be doing, our basketball would be on another level entirely. But when the Tigers put on that green, white, green bib for Team Nigeria and they step out there, they go there with whips when it's Africa. They go there and they whip those other girls, and that's what they do. So when I saw the group, maybe Mozambique, but what's Mozambique this day? Maybe if it's the men, I'll start shaking. Mozambique can do something, Rwanda can do something. The last Afrobasket, Rwanda, they were hot prospects. When they met the Tigers, they made them look so easy, picked them anyhow, and went on to, you know, win in the final. So, you know me and the Tigers. I know these girls. They talk to me. I know the sort of passion they have to always represent Nigeria. And I'm sure when they saw this group with Mozambique and Rwanda, they will say to themselves, next chapter, please.
All right. So let me go across now and quickly talk about the things Austin has been talking about. 12 teams participating, 4 group of 3 teams. And this is what you have. In Group A, you have Cote d'Ivoire, Angola, and Egypt. In Group B, you have Mali, Cameroon, and South Sudan. In Group C, Senegal, Uganda, Guinea. Group D, where Austin has referenced, you have Nigeria, Mozambique, and Rwanda. So that's it all for you. Of course, the tournament is going to tip off from July 26th to August the 3rd. It's going to be held in Cote d'Ivoire, gradually becoming the mecca for African basketball. But let me piggyback to something Austin has said before we leave this all. He says if we do 20% of what Mali, Senegal are doing, we'll probably be rubbing shoulders with the best in the world.
Yeah.
We are here not because of what we have done. We are here probably because we have a lot of Nigerians who have received their trainees abroad and all that, but still want to represent us and are coming. Not necessarily because of anything, because in the past years, it's been one problem after the other on the basketball scene. But looking at all of that, if we begin to do all of that, where do you think we'll rank?
Of course, I said the other time when we were talking about weightlifting, I said when you begin to do the right thing, you will begin to get the right result. And for Nigerian basketball, if you look at it over the years, Nigerian basketball, even the male, have been suffering because of administration issues and what have you. And if you actually put all of that into consideration and you now consider what the ladies are doing on the court, you actually need to say kudos to them because they've been doing wonderfully well. Like Austin said the other time, they won 4 on the bounce. They're actually pushing for the 5th one. They've won 7 in total and are pushing for the 8th one. So if you look at what they've been able to do, it is not because they are getting the needed support from the federation, but they're actually putting their hearts together to make sure that they represent the green, white, green color, showing their passion. The last time out when we were actually playing this tournament, when they got the better of Senegal in the final, I looked at them and the way, the passion, the zeal, how they actually come to the court to do what they know how to do best, encourage me to a large extent. And I think what Austin said the other time, talking about putting in all we know we could put in, talking about the support, the finance, the equipment are needed to actually to prepare them for the tournament. I think Nigeria will become, if not the best in the world, we get to the top at which they are going to be competing with the best in the world.
I agree 100%. But let's just quickly put this out there. The incentive to finish at the top of this group is a direct slot in the quarterfinals. And so we need to finish our group so we'll secure a direct spot in the quarterfinals. So hopefully the girls will be able to do that. All right, let's move on. Let's leave basketball and go to the king of sports. As they say, football under 20, where Nigeria's dominance has never really been questioned, but of course we are yet to translate it to the global stage. We've won the silver twice in the global competition, 1989 and of course 2005. But you're going to see in a bit the under-20 AFCON, the fixtures for the under-20 AFCON. Very sure it's going to come up on your screen. Doctor, before we get that across, these current Flying Eagles squad seem to be getting people optimistic.
Of course, if you look at what they did during the WAFU B tournament, and which actually they got the better of the internal rival of Nigeria, Ghana, you see that they actually did something extraordinary, which we've not been seeing in recent time from Nigeria under 20 national team. Then going into this tournament, we actually, our heart is full with joy that we have a team that can represent us again, who can actually take us to the glory days again, whereby we actually win the tournament. You know, we've been the best ever when it comes to this tournament in Africa. We've won 7. Then if we can actually win this one, we are pushing for the 8th title. So if you look at it very well, like I said the other time, that they are a team that we need to look out for because they are doing wonderfully well.
All right, they're doing wonderfully well. Behind me, as you can see, fixtures for Sunday. Zambia take on Sierra Leone. Egypt will take on South Africa. These are fixtures for the CAF Under-20 Championship. And let's see if we can get some other fixtures all for you. All right, so that's it. So we move on from the Under-20 to go on and talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League. And it's getting interesting. And let's quickly reel out, because we're approaching the time for the break. Want to compress a lot into this. Let's quickly see if we can get to show you the fixtures. Then I'm very sure Austin will run through what we have. Match day 35. Match day 35. I'm going to ask Dr. a question I've been asking a lot of people. Nasarawa United will take on Heartland. The Nazi Millionaires. Abia Warriors up against Shooting Stars. Aqua United up against Ikorodu City. Bayelsa United will take on El Kanemi Warriors. Kwara United will take on Lobi Stars. Plateau United will take on Bendel Insurance. The Flying Antelopes, Rangers International will take on the Aba Elephants. Talking about Eyimba. Shooting Stars, the Akure Gunners will be up against Casino United. And you have Remo Stars, champions in waiting, some have called them, up against Niger Tornadoes. These are the fixtures for match day 35. All right, Austin, we have probably a minute or two before we go on a break. Let me allow you to say a few things before we tell our viewers what to expect when we go on break.
I mean, it's the Nigeria Premier Football League. We've been covering it. We talked about it, and today, Kano Pillars beating Rivers United has just opened the floodgates for Remo Stars to see how they can put their hands on the trophy when they beat Niger Tornadoes. Match day 35. When it's done, it means it's just 3 more matches. But it's so interesting to see how that top four will be. We need to confirm 2 teams and then get one from the President's Federation Cup. Will it be Abia Warriors, Ikorodu City? Because if you take a look at how competitive it is there, even Rangers can say they can crash the party. So it's so competitive right there. I cannot wait to see what these teams, will produce. But let's take a look at some of the fixtures that will really get us talking. Abia Warriors versus Shooting Stars. Shooting Stars winless in their last 4 matches. The last one was even, painful for them because they lost at home to Remo Stars when they were thinking they could get something out of the match. So can they stop Abia Warriors? And Abia Warriors, they've been formidable at that stadium in Umuahia. Aqua United also have a big point to prove against Ikorodu City. This is an Ikorodu City that I said they want to chill with the big boys. They'll go to Uyo and see where they can get a point because they did the same thing, went to Maiduguri and pushed El Kanemi Warriors all the way. That's a very difficult ground. And if they can get a point from Maiduguri, they can say to themselves they will go to Uyo and do the same things. But Aqua United must start getting the points now, or they will sink so bad in the relegation water.
Wow. I mean, the way the word is landed, it was not something Austin wanted to say. But that's the reality. That is what is currently going on. Dr. 30 seconds, we need to go on a break. Which is the standout match for you? Do you think this is the week that Remo Stars will finally take it away?
Of course, actually, Kano Pillars have actually helped them a great deal. I haven't got the better of Rivers United by 2-0. I would just say it like this: they are 1 match away from winning the league title.
But you don't know if it's going to be this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't want to say.
I don't want to say. But I know too well that they are just a game away from winning the league title.
All right. So let's leave it there for now. We need to go on a quick break. And when we return from that break, there's still a lot to talk about. Talking about the CAF Champions League, talking about things happening in Europe, a whole lot more, all for you on the show. Let's go on that break. We'll return for more Sports Tonight. All right, welcome back. Let's move swiftly to the continent. We're done. Dotto has told us Remo Stars are just a win away. So and they're playing at home. So what else? And also has also quite rightly let us know. Dotun references as well. Canopy has done the job for Remo Stars by beating Rivers. So let's move on. CAF Champions League. I'll just go across now and talk about it. I don't know if I should say that apart from the results that you have on your screen, this is a reflection of the power dynamics in African football. Let me allow Austin to refute what I've said. We're looking at the screen, Al Ahly, Mamelodi Sundowns, Pyramids, Orlando Pirates, not just because we have 2 from Egypt, 2 from South Africa. Structure-wise, financial stability, presence of the fans at the stadium, the viability of their leagues, whatever parameter indices you want to use to judge, you have to place South Africa and Egypt high on top when you are analyzing the strengths of the domestic leagues in Africa.
You've just said it right. That's to write what the dynamics of, power when you talk about football in Africa. But somehow, somewhere, I'll put Morocco in there because of the investments that they've made with their football. And it shows, when they play, not just when we see Raja, the likes of even as far, they've shown us that they can, compete on the continent. But this year, the Egyptian teams, they said, no, we must get them talking about us, And I think they did a great job. Even with the CAF Confederation Cup, they are still flexing muscles there. But what's an unfortunate day, let me use that for Al Ahly, because when Yasser Ibrahim scored that own goal in 90th minute, I said, no, football. football just wants Mamelodi Sundowns, in that final. I was saying if there's any South African team that will make it, that it will be Orlando Pirates. And Orlando Pirates did show us that they wanted to be in that final until the 84th minute. Fixtures said, no, you're not going to be, because Al Ali is out. We should get into that final. So yes, Yemi, it's a clear testament of what you sow, you will reap, because nobody will question these four teams that have come this far in the CAF Champions League and the quality of football. When I say quality of football, not just kicking the ball around on the pitch, investment, infrastructure, players' welfare, organization, management, exposure, experience, talent, discovery, and development. It's 360 degrees branding, the spectators, the followership, community ownership. They are doing almost everything you can think about to make a football club prosper and stay viable as a business. And that's why I was saying this. So it's a good one for club football in Africa. This is the sort of model that Patrice Motsepe wants to sell. This is what he wants to take to Nigeria and say, state governments, can you see? Yes, you can own it, but can you get someone to manage it? Can you put it in the hands of the people? Can you ensure transparency, accountability? Can we make football actually, be operated as proper business? That's what he wants to see, because when we start doing that, it will spread. You have two South African teams, two Egyptian teams in the semi-finals, and nobody can question it. It's what it is.
It is what it is. Nobody can question it. And of course, you can rightly see behind me, Halali, Mamelodi Sundowns advanced on the way goes rule. Pyramids, just like Austin said, defeated Orlando Pirates. All right, let's move on the show and go to the English Premier League. Let's quickly take a look at the fixtures for the English Premier League. It's going to come up on your screen in a bit. Dotun, I want you to say a few words before we take a quick time out. Anna Slot says, look, I'm not going to make you guys wait anymore. We're going to win this title. We're going to win it in front of a packed Anfield. I just want you to come and enjoy yourself. The title will be won here, not somewhere else.
Actually, when the league started, everyone was saying that Arsenal to win the league title, owing to the fact that they did wonderfully well the last season and the season before. But coming to the league is getting to the climax gradually, and people are seeing that this title for Liverpool, not title for Arsenal. But what they've been able to do, they are consistent, very, very consistent. They keep scoring the goals, and they will not actually chipping in goals. So if you look at that, they are a worthy winner. They are a worthy winner. Saying that he wants to win it at the front of the spectators, talking about the fans of Liverpool, is just a very good one for them, because the last time they did it, I told someone earlier today, I said, George Klump, when he was in charge of Liverpool, had 97 points, and he never won the league, because we have a Man City that had 98 points.
He didn't win that season. He won later on.
Yeah. So we had a Man City that had 98 points, just a point difference. So if you now look at it very well, we have Ancelotti now actually trying to win the league, and he's going to win the league. Maybe he's going to lose the league. He can't lose the league again. But if you look at it, telling the fans that come and enjoy yourself, come and enjoy this success, because it is all for you, not just for the guys alone.
All right. Not for the guys on the field alone. All right. Let's quickly take a look at all the fixtures. I'm going to just turn to the screen, give it to you. There you have it. On Saturday, Chelsea will take on Everton. Brighton will take on West Ham United. Newcastle United will take on Ipswich Town. Some people are saying it's a matter of when, not if, that Ipswich might just be going down. We'll see what happens. Southampton already gone down, taking on Fulham. Wolverhampton Wanderers will take on Leicester City, already relegated Leicester City. Let's see what's going to happen on Sunday quickly. AFC Bournemouth will take on Manchester United. Liverpool will take on Tottenham Hotspur. Manchester United manager saying everybody wants to come to Manchester United. I don't know where he's getting that from. I know you're going to make us listen to him in a bit, but I want to ask you this quickly.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Is it the brilliance of the Dutch tactician, or that the Gunners gave away the title? Which one is it? Because even the most optimistic Liverpool fan would have said, give this man a season or two. But here we are, him winning, managing all the crises at the club, settling
Yeah.
down. He's been able to keep two of his three most, prized players. It looks like
Yeah.
he might still be able to keep number three. Who knows? A lot of things can still happen. But
Yeah, I mean, you've said it all, and that's what I kept saying, that a coach goes beyond running around the stakes and the cones and the tactics and strategies. You must understand players' management. Very, very important. Just imagine if they had lost Mo Salah at the time all of the conversations came that, oh, he's going to leave, he's going to leave. That would have been a massive distraction. So Arne Slot is just a fantastic tactician. He knew how to talk to the media. He did not let their form to get into his head. He kept staying humble and telling people that I've seen teams that we start so well and then fall badly, e.g. Arsenal, So he has done everything, and I totally agree with Gary Neville, former Manchester United defender, when he said that Arne Slot ranks amongst the best coaching performances we have seen ever in the Premier League. And I totally agree. Debut season, a staggering run of 26 unbeaten matches. He has lost just 2 games all season. Can you believe that? Just 2 matches, and they're on the brink of winning a historic Premier League title. And nobody at the start of the season, the odds didn't favor them. It was Manchester City to win first and Arsenal second. Liverpool was ranking third with the likes of Newcastle. But look at Liverpool now. They changed the manager, and you'd expect all of the teething problems. And Arne Slot came in, and first thing first, made the players understand that, look, there's been a system. I won't come here and disrupt it. Do you want to perfect that system? And they said, oh, yes. And all he did was to guide them towards that perfection. Now, in front of a packed Anfield on Sunday, he's trying to see how he can torture Tottenham and give them the title. Let's listen to Arne Slot on the show tonight.
We are aware of the fact that the last time this club won the league, it was COVID time. So everybody is looking forward to Sunday. But we know that there's still a job to be done, and that's at least 1 point. And that's what we know, and hopefully our fans know as well when they come to the stadium, that they support us in the best possible way they can, which they've done the whole season, and are aware of the fact that we still need a point. And that's something we are definitely aware of here inside this building. So it's a nice game to look forward to, but it's also a responsibility we have for Sunday.
That's it, Dotun. That's the responsibility. Just to put icing on the cake, appreciate the fans. And gracious goodness, it will be so loud on Sunday at Anfield.
Of course, it's really going to be very loud on Sunday. But if you actually take a vivid look at it, what has happened in the English Premier League, when Jurgen Klopp was going, he left a very good team. A very good team. Balanced, well-equipped at the front, at the middle, and even in the defense. And if you look at what happened, it is my common say that if a team is going to win the league, the officiating will be in his favor. The fans will tilt towards him. The management, the administrators will actually support that particular thing. And that is what happened to Liverpool Football Club. On the side of Arsenal, you asked the other time, when you asked Austin, talking about did Arsenal throw away the league? And actually take a look at it. If you look at everything right from the start of the league season, it wasn't working for Arsenal. Talking about the officiating, talking about the injuries and what have you. So if you put all of this into consideration, you see that Arsenal lost the league due to the fact that they had few challenges. But on the side of Liverpool, for Slot is a fantastic coach. The first season, he did wonderfully well as a manager in Eredivisie. The second season, he won the league. And the third season in English Premier League is actually winning the league again. So I would say that he actually is a very good manager, building his profile talking about building it a step after one another, building it gradually to actually write his own name among the best when it comes to football management in the world.
All right. Talking about the manager, after one season, we're already talking about him writing his name in gold and ranking up there with the likes of Jurgen Klopp and the others. All right, let's move on now. We're still in England, but we're talking about the FA Cup now. There's still a chance for Pep Guardiola to salvage something from this season, and it will be through the FA Cup. I'm going to go across now just to talk about the FA Cup quickly. All right, so Crystal Palace taking on Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest taking on Manchester City. What is common to all of these teams, apart from maybe Manchester City, and you can still put Manchester City there because of what has happened recently, the resurgence. These teams have punched above their weight this season. Nottingham Forest are on the brink of making it to Europe. Aston Villa are on the ferry. Crystal Palace might, if things go their way, Manchester City look like they're cruising into the Champions League. So this is what you have. Dotun, quickly, let's look at it before we yield to the man who is right there. Where do you think the pendulum will swing? Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, Nottingham, Manchester City.
The Crystal Palace Aston Villa game is really going to be keenly contested. If you look at the performances of Crystal Palace in recent time against Arsenal, against Manchester City, they actually did wonderfully well. They got the better of Man City. They drew against Arsenal just some couple of days back. And if you look at what Aston Villa have been able to do so far this season, you will say that they are really going to actually give them a run for their money. But I think
Crystal Palace actually lost against City, though.
They lost against City. Sorry. So I think the Aston Villa will give them a good run for their money. But I'm tilting towards Crystal Palace winning this one. And for Nottingham Forest, for what they've been able to do so far this season, although it is really going to be very difficult against Manchester City, but I think City will take this one.
All right, so Dotun going for Crystal Palace and Manchester City. I'll sit on the fence as I usually do. Let me go to Austin now. Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, Manchester City. Just weigh both sides. Where do you think the pendulum will swing in both matches?
On paper, as a pundit, you easily just want to say Manchester City will run over Nottingham Forest. And if you take a look at both teams in their last 5 matches, it's 3 wins and 2 losses for Nottingham Forest. And it's 4 wins and 1 draw for Manchester City. So on current form, you'll just be quick to just say it's Manchester City until football stuns you. And this is the FA Cup, so it's very difficult to just jump up and say Manchester City will win it, particularly with the sort of fights that Forest gave to get to where they are. They played with heart, they played with guts, they played with purpose. And if they go on like that, then they can just easily, give us something to keep talking about. This is the semis where if you blink, you start asking questions. So they are going to go out there and find a way to play tactical football that will hurt Manchester City. Now, with this analysis, I'm just trying to tell you that I cannot just come here and say Manchester City is going to win. But on current form, you want to easily give it to City. And because Pep and his team, they love lifting trophies. And this season is looking like one that wants to test them. That, again, will give them a renewed determination to go out there and see ways that we can put some respect on their name. That's a good place to land with that. Then if you take a look at Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, easy peasy. That just looks like what the council boats themselves, But with what Villa seems to have done this season, particularly the experience they've gotten playing in the UEFA Champions League, you want to say, oh, they can jump on this and, really get us talking. But football doesn't work that way. With Crystal Palace, looking at their history, looking at how far they've come, that is good motivation for them. So let's listen to the coaches. They've been speaking ahead of this FA Cup semi-final fixtures.
So it's not so important, but it means for me, let's say for me in a person, if we win the game, it's the 3rd consecutive final I could play. 2 with Frankfurt and now with Palace. But before we talk about the final, we have to focus on the semi-final against Aston Villa. They are in great shape. I think they won 8 of the last 10 games. Just lost against PSG away and at Etihad on Tuesday. and 8 wins. And they've also the whole squad available is a little bit similar. We also all our players, Ben Chilwell is back and fit, and so that's, and then it's a game. So I don't want to make it bigger than it is. It's a football game, and we feel well prepared. We got confidence especially with the performance at the Emirates, and this is how we will enter Wembley.
Inside our preparation, this game is not different from any other one. So we have retained our normal cycle of preparation, and we approach the same. Knowing that it's going to be a tough match, but it's a special occasion. We have to enjoy it. Delighted that we're going to go to Wembley to compete against a good team in the semi-final of the FA Cup. It was a long journey, stressful one that we've been through to achieve it. We have to compete. We have to go and play. We cannot thank them enough to be there. We know that we have a lot of fans going. I think we
25,000.
Yes, a lot, even more than was possible. That shows the support of the fans. I think the city is happy. It's a special moment for everybody. What I can say to them, sing as high as you can.
So, Doctor, after listening to the managers, I'm sure you would agree that this is a fixture, particularly that it's the semis, that both the 4 teams need to be careful, and it is the one that plays with purpose, with intent, that might just go on to get the day.
Of course, you're right, Austin. The team that play with purpose, with zeal, with passion, we carry the day. Like the manager said the other time, said they need to be careful going into the game. Being careful is always needed, because when you play against a team that can get the better of you, what you need to do is to actually trade the path of caution. For Nottingham Forest is really going to be difficult, but I would say that Manchester City, we got the better of them.
Let's go to Copa del Rey and talk about the big one. El Clasico it is now. Real Madrid against Barcelona. That's what's going to happen in the final. So, here you have it. Final fixture, Copa del Rey. Some will say the only remaining chance for Real Madrid to get something from this season. You never can tell. All right, so that's it. Doctor, we're pressed for time. What can you say about this game? On current form, a lot of people would tilt towards Barcelona.
Of course, many will tilt towards Barcelona, but this is a cup final. You actually can't take it away from Real Madrid. They know how to play cup finals. But for Barcelona, they have been wonderful this season, extraordinary. Rafinha doing everything he knows he can do to make sure that Barcelona win the UEFA Champions League, the La Liga trophy, also win the Copa del Rey. But I think for Real Madrid, what they need to do, go to the field, put your hearts together, give them a good run for their money, and leave the trophy.
All right. So I guess we'll leave it there. I want to spend a few minutes we have left on the show to, talk about 2 eminent personalities that have passed on. And let's just quickly talk about this one. Immediate past president of the Nigeria Football Referees Association, Tari Aziz. There he is at the back of the screen. It's been confirmed dead today. Our condolences go to the family. I mean, shocking. News like this is always very shocking. He has left his mark on Nigerian football, and I'm actually lost for words. Let me allow us to say a few words. It's really shocking, not the kind of news you want to hear.
Road shock, heartbreaking. I call him Uncle Tade. You know, we worked together on a lot of projects. He was head of technical for the Channels International Kids Cup. I worked closely with him to promote the Eco Beach Soccer League. He was a big advocate of grassroots football development. Former president of the Nigeria Referees Association. He was a referee himself at the time. And each time Uncle Tade is talking football, you can feel his passion. He was always ready to, go the distance, to discover talent, to support. It's really tough. Uncle Tade, we will miss you. I pray that God will, grant him eternal rest and give his family the much-needed support to bear this loss. Hear me?
All right. Also paying respects. Let's go to the Vatican now and talk about what is going there. Italian football put on hold. The players paying their respect. The old structure of Italian football, as you can see, the FA president, the coach, the representative of the players, Gianluigi Buffon, there, the coach Spalletti, all of them paying their last respect. Lazio players also paying their respect. Some representative from Argentine national team also paying their respects. Dotun, Pope Francis passed away, and all the final rites being done. The world, not just sports, the world paying their last respects. And you can see what he means to football, especially in Italy, as all these big stars paying their last respect to the Pope.
Yeah, this is a good one coming from the Italian Serie A, coming to actually pay their respect to this man. When it comes to Christianity in the world, they actually hold him at a very high extent to be the number one citizen when it comes to Christianity. And having passed away, people felt like, okay, we need to do the right thing, coming to pay him the last respect. The Football League actually being suspended for the weekend and to be resumed during the week. Talking about next week is a very good one coming from the league board and from the players that actually came visiting to pay the due respect. I would say kudos to them as well.
Family members as well. I mean, also it's going to be our parting shot. I mean, what a way, a fitting way to pay respect to a remarkable human being, a symbol for Christianity. And I mean, what else can we say?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't just a man of faith, you know. He was so passionate about football. He loved football so much. In his autobiography, he wrote an entire chapter on Diego Armando Maradona. And he jokingly said when he met Maradona, I asked him, which is that hand that committed, that sin that got the world talking. He loved Messi. I remember when he was asked between Messi, Maradona, and Ronaldo, who was the best player, he described them so well, which shows that he follows football and said for him, it is Pelé. You know, the Pope didn't just see football as a sport. He said we should use it as a tool to educate, inspire, to spread love and peace all over the world. We'll miss him. The sporting world will definitely miss Pope Francis. And let me end the show this way. We pray that the soul of Pope Francis, Uncle Tade, and all the faithful departed through the mercy of God will rest in peace. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonak, and in everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right, amen to the prayers. It's a wrap here in Lagos. But before I go on, thank Dr. Agubiade for his time on the show. Thank you very much. Hopefully we'll do this again some other time.
Yeah, of course, we're going to do this together again.
All right, that's the show today. It's the last one for the week. We hope that you've enjoyed everything we've been able to bring. You'll see us again next week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye.